We still don't have a sound effect for Harbaugh Watch 2022 because we're lazy. Dun, 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 dun. And the Minnesota Vikings, as of right now, are reportedly having the interview 8 a.m. Central Time, TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill. And like we said, as long as Harbaugh doesn't pull down his khakis and drop a deuce or piss all over the carpet, yeah, I think that it's going to be his. But John U. Bacon, Michigan insider, Michigan author, we've talked about him a lot. He wrote a novel on Wednesday morning. Now, part of this was, I don't know, maybe Michigan alum just saying, baby, please stay for the children. I don't know. But he's saying, not so fast, my friend, on Vikings and Harbaugh. Here we go. A long thread. Anyone saying that Harbaugh interview in Minnesota is a done deal is not considering the people involved, nor their histories. Today's interview is far more important. Many seem to understand. Here's a thread laying it out. 1 of 13. Great. So Harbaugh not only has to convince the Will family his approach is sufficient, modern in the midst of a youth movement, which shouldn't be too hard. He literally coached 18 to 20-year-old kids at Michigan. I think that he's picked up a thing or two on the youth movement. Whatever. More importantly, it's not like he's coaching 45-year-old men on Michigan. Well, actually, that could explain why they went 1-6 against Ohio State. More importantly, he has to quell the rumors that he's too difficult to deal with. All right. Well, that's sort of like a catch-22. It's like, what do you say to the people who say that you're difficult to deal with? Why are they saying that? Continued. Those come from two main sources, Harbaugh's former owner and one of his potential future owners. After Harbaugh took over the 6-10 Niners in 2011, he led them to 3 straight NFC conference titles. But as I reported in End Zone, friction with GM Trent Baalke over personnel, contract extensions, and more were becoming personal, leaving San Jose Mercury News columnist Tim Kawakami to wonder if relationship could be repaired. If so, Kawakami wrote, it would probably require the intervention of owner Jed York, the 34-year-old son of Denise Bartolo York and nephew of the team's previous owner Eddie DeBartolo Jr. As I wrote, Kawakami initially thought Harbaugh was too brash and bristly to make a good fit with the Niners, but over the years he's come to the conclusion that the problems lay more with the team's management. Oh, really? Whenever there's conflict, is it always on one side where it's convenient for your narrative, or is a little bit of both? And as we've seen, Jed York, and also Trent Baalke, garbage. All right, so, and the fact that Harbaugh, yeah, maybe you can't get along with people who are hard to get along with. It happens. Right. York repeatedly took Baalke's side until Harbaugh left to Michigan after the 2014 season, and York fired Baalke in 2017. So maybe it wasn't Jim Harbaugh. And then, hey, congrats. Hey, Jed York. Congrats on the Jim Tom Sula years and the Chip Kelly years. Just fantastic. But since then, York has been bad-mouthing Harbaugh to any NFL owner who will listen. Will the Wilfs. So... yeah, you're trying to backtrack. It's like, Harbaugh blew this thing up. It wasn't me. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't me siding with Trent Baalke. It wasn't my fault that we got rid of this extremely successful NFL coach that took us to a Super Bowl and 3 straight NFC title games. Yeah, it wasn't me. This sort of seems like Zimmer, Kyle Sluter territory again. He continued. Michigan insider Sam Webb mentioned Harbaugh's other adversary in this report today. There's a minority stakeholder in the Vikings with strong Michigan ties who has been adamant in expressing the view that one of the other candidates would be a better choice. Okay, but that's not necessarily downgrading Harbaugh. Even though, he's got big Michigan ties. Did he go to Michigan State? Did he go to Ohio State? What's going on there? And maybe he just really loves Kevin O'Connell or Raheem Morris or Patrick Graham. It's possible. People are allowed to have opinions. Webb doesn't name him and didn't tell me, but my sources have confirmed what I already suspected from circumstantial evidence. U of M alumnus and former Eastern Michigan University trustee Jim Stapleton, who's been a Vikings minority owner. Jimmy, hey, you have to take care of your own kind. The Jims. Yeah, us Jims have to stick together. Come on, Stapleton. Come on, Stapes. Let's go. Is your father Chris Stapleton? You suck. Actually, no, Chris Stapleton's really good. What am I talking about? Tennessee whiskey, as reported in 3 and Out. After Stapleton had been accused of sabotaging U of M coach Rich Rodriguez, he wrote a 4-page letter refuting the charges, but still had his sideline pass revoked. He is now one of Harbaugh's critics, hoping to persuade the Wolves to reject. Oh, so you're telling me the dude who got rid of Rich Rod in Michigan and was kind of basically proven to do so, and maybe he has a little bit of an axe to grind against his alma mater. He's the guy that's in the Wilf's ear saying, hey, don't hire Harbaugh. By the way, how big is his steak? Like, all right, so say the Wilfs have like the tomahawk ribeye. What's his? Like the little baseball steak? Is that his steak in the team? Please. Continues. Man, this is like reading Pillars of the Earth. However, Harbaugh has the best possible ally in his corner, Vikings GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, who had worked with Harbaugh in San Francisco. Thus, today will boil down to a simple contest. Will the Wilfs believe 49ers owner Jed York and Vikings minority owner Jim Stapleton, or their own general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah? And that may come down to how Harbaugh performs in today's day-long interview. That's why, as Webb reports, sources in Ann Arbor had Harbaugh prepping for the interview much of the day Monday with quarterbacks coach Matt Weiss. That is not a man who thinks today's interview is a done deal. Harbaugh knows better. Or maybe that he's thorough. Maybe he likes to prepare because he's a coach who's had success, and that's what successful people do. They prepare. They don't walk in all willy-nilly. Like, Harbaugh wasn't going to pull, I don't know, a Denver and get wasted and then show up for the interview an hour late. Woo, let's do this. That's right. No, he wasn't going to do that. So I think this is really grasping at straws. And if it really does come down to the Wilfs have to decide between the words of Jed York, who obviously has an axe to grind and has a vested interest in making himself look good from the whole Harbaugh situation. It's like, oh, I mean, obviously he's bad. And then also this Stapleton guy who I didn't know from Adam. And I literally just heard a couple minutes ago. You're going to believe him? Over the guy who you hired to be your general manager. Only the Vikings could screw this up. I will say that. Where everything seems good to go. I think that Harbaugh is a true leader of men. I think that he will get the Vikings winning quickly and often. And I think that the Vikings will be in Super Bowl contention in the very near future. And if Kwesi, who again, who you hired to be your general manager, if he's like in, except the guy who has 0.1% of the team is like, no. And you listen to him. God, it's ridiculous, man. Everything's stupid. But like I said at the beginning, I mean, this might be John Bacon, Michigan alumnus, just trying to be like, baby, please stay. Oh, by the way, with all these issues that he brings up with Stapleton and Jed York, why do you want him at Michigan? Huh? Like why do you still want him at your school representing your team? So I think this seems a little too convenient, but yeah, the interview's still going on. Reportedly started at 8. We'll see what happens today. It's going to be a busy day, but that's it. That's the latest on Harbaugh Watch 2022. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts on Bacon's thoughts sizzling in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.